Folks, I'm Mike Doles, and I've been an inspector for many years. Done both contract and municipal inspections. Been a building official. So I've got about 25 years experience involved in this. Hold multiple ICC certifications, including Master Code Professional. But the main thing is, for all the studying and all the book work, for all the tests and everything else, it comes down to being out in the field and doing the actual inspections. So we've created these series of videos. There's going to be quite a few of them. This is one of the first ones you're going to be seeing. And we're just trying to help you out. We're trying to identify code violations that hold up CO and rough-in inspections first. Kind of in that order. Now we're going to have a whole host of videos that's going to be coming out. Ask you to watch over those. Some of those say something like looking for free inspector training or something like that. We have inspection training for fire stop inspectors. But the first batch of inspection videos we're going to do is on residential construction. Now, Doles Enterprises is myself and my wife, and we're in South Carolina. And not everything that I list or show is going to, maybe be relevant to your specific area, but maybe it'll get a conversation started. It's always good to talk among your peers, other construction workers, inspectors, that sort of thing. So watch these videos, learn all you can. I ask please that you subscribe and like these videos and support us in any way you can. Buy me a cup of coffee if you know what I mean. And I really do appreciate that. So sit back, go through some of these, learn what you can, and share the knowledge with others. And we look forward to working with all of you. So a common mistake for the installer when we have a rough-in inspection is you have like an island sink out there or something, is the conductors going out there to the island. No, first of all, they don't rough it in, and they end up having to cut the concrete, which we never like to see that. But on top of that, they cut the concrete and they put a conduit in there, or they already have the conduit there. And what they do is they run just regular Romex NM cable inside that conduit, which is a code violation. Romex or NM cable is not permitted to be used in wet locations. Now, I'm one of those that used to always see gray underground Romex, but I have seen some white here lately. So they do make a white jacketed. So you need to look at it close. Just because you see the white, don't turn it down automatically or think you got something wrong. Take a look and make sure it's what kind of cabling you got. So of course what you got to do is you got to take a look at the cabling that you got, right? And so look at the label. Look for the UF or the UFB printed on the outer jacket. You can also look at the inside, kind of the cutaway on it, and you can tell pretty quick. Inside the jacket, a 12-2 UF cable will contain 3 distinct wires inside the outer sheath. You got a black, a white, and your bare copper ground. So if we look at the manufacturer's information, we're going to see that this cabling is permitted for underground, including direct burial in earth as a feeder or a branch circuit. We're provided with overcurrent protection. It's for use for interior wiring, also wet, dry, or corrosive locations. Type UFB underground feeder cables construction provides a solid or stranded type THHN or THWN conductor, and usually it's laid parallel with insulator jackets. So where can Romex or NM cable actually be used? We're going to have to look in the code section 334.10 of the NEC. Here's the full list of all the locations where non-metallic sheath cables are permitted. Of course, 1 and 2 family dwellings exposed or concealed. Multifamily dwellings in type 3, 4, and 5 construction, concealed in walls, floors, or ceilings with a 15-minute fire barrier. In other buildings, it's only where concealed within walls, floors, ceilings, and with thermal protection. Cable trays and exposed work. Now, in commercial work, you're going to see that if you got wood frame walls, you can run NM cable up to through the top plate. But if you got a drop ceiling, then you have to put a box up there and convert it to MC cables. Usually what we see. So let's just talk about where it can't be used. Okay, locations exposed to physical damage, air handling spaces and plenums, embedded in poured concrete unless protected. It says unless protected, but again, it can't be in a wet or damp location, right? So you got to get down to that last list. Hazardous locations outdoors or in wet environments. What is a wet environment? That comes up to be the question. So let's go to our code, E3803.10, wet locations. This is from the IRC. It says the interior of enclosures or raceways installed underground shall be considered to be in wet locations, period. Insulated conductors, cables installed in such enclosures are raceways. Remember, are raceways, conduit, and underground installations shall be listed for wet locations. So the cabling has to be listed for a wet location. And of course, NM cable, Romex, standard Romex is not. So the inspector is going to be watching out for some of this stuff. NM cables run outside or even under a deck without being sleeved or in NMC, NM cable that's loose or unsupported in crawl spaces or garages, bored holes that are overfilled and without doing a degrading adjustment, unprotected cables, and NM cables stuffed in metal boxes without proper clamps or relief. So that concludes this video. We've got a whole host of other videos. Actually, go to the site and look over them. There's quite a few there for you to learn from. Please like and subscribe. We need to go over all this with you as much as we can, and let's try to avoid unnecessary failed inspections on the site, and that saves everybody time and money and a little bit of aggravation.